22-year-old still winning races, that is something I'm trying to figure out.
That race car makes me tick. When that motor starts, I get goosebumps to this day after doing this since 1974, and I raced back in high school.
And despite more than 45 years behind the wheel of a funny car, none of the passion is gone.
The car lanes out, and at the finish line, it's John Force for the 100. Anybody tell you don't matter? I'm so lately.
No one can argue with a track record that has immortalized him as the GOAT, or greatest of all time.
Don't let the old man in. And, well, he's knocking at the door, but I ain't letting him in this body. Winning, that's what makes me tick. I'm not gonna have any more kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old, and I'm gonna win more races, and I'm gonna fight to win championships. I won 16 championships. Nobody's ever done that in any sport.
Yes, 16 world championships, including a record-breaking 10 in a row. To put that into perspective, Tom Brady, widely considered the greatest NFL quarterback of all time, has only won a record 7 Super Bowls.
Kelly Slater, the star child of professional surfing and a seemingly ageless competitive marvel, has been crowned a WSL World Surfing Champion 11 times, but has lost steam at the tender age of 49. Tiger Woods has won 16 major championships. However, there are 4 chances to win one every year in professional golf. What about Michael Jordan? Well, sorry, only 6 NBA championships. The great Pele, well, only 3 World Cup victories. And Yogi Berra, he comes perhaps the closest, with 13 World Series rings, but that's in the team sport of baseball. Perhaps the most outrageous comparison of John Force's 16 world titles is that they match the same number of New York Yankees World Series championships since 1949, the same year that John Force was born.
I won in 90, I won in 91, the championship. Then I came back, raced, took me out in 92 because we lost focus. We'd won a couple championships and we thought we're great. But that got my mind right. This is not the top of my career. It's just starting. And we came back and we won 10 straight.
John Force has won yet another one.
He is probably one of the brightest men this sport has ever seen. The man is a wizard, not only behind the wheel, but also his crew.
But John Force takes the win.
I got the 150 win at Seattle. Then I came and won Indy a few weeks later, 151, but we came back this year. I won in Epping, I won the 4 wide at Charlotte. I'm right back winning like I always did.
With a dominant history-making performance in 2021, John finished the season among the top 5 for the second time in the last 3 years, proving yet again there's still nitro fuel in the 72-year-old's tank.
So these cars, like I said, are so powerful. It is similar to a controlled explosion trying to get it going on the racetrack.
So we're talking 1,000-foot drag strip, side-by-side drag racing. It's 330 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds.
The fuel we put in is nitromethane, which carries most of its oxygen within the fuel, so you don't even need outside air to fuel. It makes tons of power. You can put a lot of it in it, goes through 15 gallons a run. Depending on the race and the weather conditions, we're talking about 10 to 11,000 horsepower.
It's 5 to 6 Gs within the first second on the run.
I would compare it with being shot out of a cannon. But let me tell you, it's the greatest high there is.
John Force 0.54 reaction time, and the finish line stripe. It's John Force for the 153rd time in his career.
The danger in this sport is it's a high probability. These cars are fast and they're dangerous if something goes wrong. If you have accidents or parts failures, it explodes. If you shut it off too early, it explodes. You don't want to come into nitro racing without a clue on safety of it, because you can hurt anybody around it, and it has in the past.
John is no stranger to the risk drag racers take when the light turns green, as a routine race in 2007 proved, as it nearly cost him not only his career, but his life.
Well, John was a little late. And John, big crash. John has a problem with his car. He comes across, he hits Bernstein. Both cars continue on.
So when that motor explodes in your face, shrapnel, a grenade went off, and you're trying to survive. You got all the right equipment, Simpson gear, helmets, all this stuff. You're trying to survive. We got into each other. We got into each other, ripped our cars apart, sent me upside down, blew the engine, exploded, the body blew off the thing. I was just hands out, trying to stay stabilized, but then I got knocked out, so you can't even protect yourself. At Dallas, when they had to cut the roll cage off the car to get me out of the car, they got me on a stretcher, and that's when I saw the bone sticking out of my leg and bones out of my wrist, and my ankle was busted. I was jumped. When you're laying in that hospital bed and you're not anybody's hero anymore because they look at you like you're done, there's one person standing there, and that's Lori. My wife stood by me through all that. The doctors told me there, you're finished. Like, you'd be lucky if you can walk. You'll never drive a race car again, so quit thinking about championships, and let's get you where you can at least walk on a walker. And I lived it, though. 7 days a week, I went into training. I was down there in the gym in the middle of the night. People thought I was nuts because I was going to come back and win.
That's a good old final round winner, John Force.
Watching him come back from that wreck, watching how motivated he was to get back in the car, and watching him tell the doctor, that's what I love, that's what I'm going to do, and watching him come back from that is the biggest lesson I've ever learned from him. What's that lesson? The lesson is fight for what you want.
And Brittany would surely know, as she's followed in her father's footsteps, winning her own world championship in 2017 and still fighting for more titles today.
My dad is, there's no one like him. He is one of a kind, he is a character. His passion, his drive for the sport is just everything. And he has 16 championships. He's done so much for the sport of NHRA drag racing. It is unreal.
At the end of the day, I'm nothing special. I'm just an old truck driver that lived it. You know what I mean? I had plenty of losing in high school football, and I've had plenty of winning over here. And like I said, it ain't over till I say it's over, and I'm sticking to that.
it on your nose, but it's clear how my baby's running this a block, cause you fear what you do to you if you get dirty hands and veneer. What you do, what she is, little boy, I tell you this. If baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and that cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. If baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and that cute. She can make it count, how about you? She would put you in the bag, yeah. Wouldn't even need a planet. If she wanted, she a magnet. They should let her name a planet. Everything she drop like Corona, viral, make the world start over like a owner. She ain't about to set, but they really wanna throne her. Listen, she like Bay, she like Hover. Self-employed, moving paper better than some Billy Boy. Made a choice on the regular, she bring a milli home. Click my phone, get my ass up, get a dinner going. Watch she out there, making sure that you all know. Baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and that cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and that cute. She can make it count, how about you? She be always making money, if it's raining, if it's sunny. She make time to call me honey every day. Drop a couple bands on the cook, they need pay. Then a couple
Andy Buckwell!
Are you kidding me right now?
And that means you're number one here at stop number one of the BMX Triple Challenge. Y'all want to know who won best trick? Yes. Andy Buckwell! The monster energy right there. The double backflip turned down to late no-hander. A huge thank you to all our competitors here today at the BMX Triple Challenge, brought to you by Monster Energy. Nearly got me. Huge thanks to our judges, Dave Brumlow, Clay Brown, Keith Mulligan, and of course Ronnie Lambolton, Sean Heimdall for putting this whole thing together, Monster Energy, Feld Entertainment, and of course Supercross. We'll see you in Arlington, Texas. It's been a wild ride here at Anaheim, but round 2 is going to be even better. Stay tuned. See you next time. Peace.
Someone on him. He's out. He's up. Oh shit.
Wow,
Oh my God.
Holy fucking shit.
What does the Drakensberg mean to me? Well, in a word, it's widescreen. It's a cinematic landscape. It stretches from horizon to horizon. It's just huge. The mountains here are very distinctive. Their jagged peaks just pierce the horizon, and instantly you know you're in the Drakensberg because no other mountains in the world look like this. Everywhere you look, there's a great shot. The plant and animal life is amazing. I've just been stunned by the variety of birds, and there's such a sense of tranquility. It's just beautiful. The landscape seems untouched, but you look and there's rock art everywhere. It really makes me feel connected to the people who have lived here thousands and thousands of years before. But I think it's those wide open skies of the Drakensberg that will stay with me. That's what I'm going to remember.
February 24th, 1868. In Washington, Andrew Johnson becomes the first American president to be impeached. The House of Representatives impeaches Johnson after he tries to fire Secretary of War Edwin Stanton. Johnson is later acquitted by a single vote in the Senate. 1920. What becomes known as the Nazi Party holds its first major meeting in Munich, Germany. Under Adolf Hitler, the Nazis later turned Germany into a dictatorship that brings World War II and the Holocaust. 1945. American forces liberate the Philippine capital of Manila from Japanese control in the final months of World War II. 1981. In London, Buckingham Palace announces Britain's Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer are engaged. Their wedding takes place later that year. The couple separates, then divorces in the following decade. And 1999.
Some girls are only about that thing.
Lauryn Hill wins 5 Grammys for her debut solo album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. She sets a record for a female artist that has since been tied by Alicia Keys, Norah Jones, and Beyonce. Today in history, February 24th. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,